It is 2 o'clock coffee break time, and yes, I have my llama again. So hope you all are having a fabulous day. I am super excited to have Dee Dee with me today during coffee break. So Dee Dee and I are in a local networking group together, and we've become friends over the course of the last, I don't know, what, couple of years now, maybe, Dee Dee?
Yeah, I think it's been a couple of years now. Yeah.
Yep. So Dee Dee is my go-to person to educate me and answer all questions that I have about something called the endocannabinoid system.
Good job.
Welcome, Dee Dee.
Hi, everybody. This is going to be fun.
All right, so, oh, golly, I got to start my timer. 10 minutes. Okay, go. All right, so here's my question for you, Dee Dee.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember taking biology classes in high school, which was just a couple of years ago. And I remember studying in my anatomy and physiology class about the digestive system, the cardiovascular system, the endocrine system, and recently I just learned about the lymphatic system, but I never heard anything about something called the endocannabinoid system. So is this like a brand new system in our bodies?
We've always had this system. They just discovered it, though, in the 90s. So they were doing some research on THC and how it affected your body. And then all of a sudden they found all these receptors, okay? So these receptors are literally in our brains, organs, connective tissue, glands, and immune cells. So technically it is a new system, but they're making discoveries every day on different things in our body because, well, our body's the miracle, exactly, in DNA stuff. So it's pretty neat that they found this. We always wondered why THC stays in your body for 30 days. If it was truly a drug, your body, or poison, your body would get rid of it, right? Between 24 to 72 hours. But for some reason, your body will keep THC in its system for up to 30 days, sometimes longer. It just depends on the person and how you store it. So when I figured that out, I was always like, so really, I don't think it's a drug. Makes sense.
Just for my knowledge, and maybe other people who maybe am in the same boat as I am, THC is the chemical compound for what makes marijuana hallucinogenic?
Correct. Yay.
Okay.
Yes. And see, so in this state of Kentucky, obviously medical marijuana has not passed yet, and we do not have recreational marijuana. But what we do have is hemp. And hemp is technically the same plant as marijuana. It is. Most people don't realize that. But the thing about hemp is that it is harvested at a certain time, which keeps the THC levels low. And if it's a good hemp plant, it's super high in CBD, which is the big buzzword, right? So CBD is cannabidiol, and that is one of the compounds, cannabinoids, found in the plant. THC is another compound, cannabinoid, found in the plant. There's about 113 different ones so far that they've discovered in the cannabis sativa plant, which is the mother plant. Then it kind of branches off. That's kind of how they do, cannabis sativa and make it hemp. At least that's kind of the general thing that how they like to do it, even though technically it's the same plant. In the state of Kentucky, your THC levels have to be 0.3% or lower. You won't get high from this, obviously, but it still has a little bit, that THC still helps with things in your body. Your body still uses it for whatever it needs it for. Same thing with CBD, same thing with all the other cannabinoids in the plant. The problem with the THC for some people is that they could fail a drug test if they use these products. So that's kind of important to know. That's one thing that when people are shopping for a CBD product, it's important that they know whether it is THC free, whether, what the percentage is of the THC if they are worried about the drug testing. So.
Interesting. Okay, so that you just mentioned something that I want to follow back around on. When people are shopping for a CBD product,
Mhm.
they need to ask about percentage of THC or if it's THC free.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, and there's a few things that they really need to ask about. One, how it's made. How is the CBD processed? There's three methods on the market. CO2 is the safest, healthiest, and cleanest. There's an ethanol extraction. That would be my second choice, which ethanol is alcohol. And then a third extraction is a hydrocarbon. And typically in a hydrocarbon extraction, they are using butane, which is lighter fluid, to extract with. That's my sentiments exactly. There are companies that do this because they claim that it keeps all the essence of the plant involved. But my fear, one, butane has never been recognized as safe for human consumption. It is considered a carcinogen. It's highly volatile. And unless it is lab quality, I don't want that in my body. I don't want something that's been used with butane to put in my body. And that's my own personal opinion. So our products are CO2 extracted, but they need to ask how it's made. Where do these plants come from? Are they locally grown in Kentucky? I mean, we want to support local farmers, right? Isn't that the whole point of being local? We want to support local Kentucky farmers. Do they have certificates of analysis? Are they having third-party tests done on the plants to make sure that they're not being grown with pesticides? The thing about hemp is that in the state of Kentucky, you cannot use pesticides on your plants. One, we third-party test it when it comes in, so we won't use it, period, if it's
Okay.
like that.
So hold on a minute. So if I go to the grocery and I buy spinach, I can either choose to buy organic spinach that hasn't had pesticides used on it, or I can buy conventional spinach that probably has.
Yep.
So are you saying that in the state of Kentucky, all hemp plants have to be organic?
Yes.
Even though
And
they don't have the organic seal on it?
Yep. You will pay more for that organic seal. Everything. Okay. Yep. And I personally don't see the point of that because everything is made organically. Everything's grown. Now, don't get me wrong. There may be some farmers out there that have had pesticides reports and they're still using it. But our certificates of analysis show that there has been no pesticides used. So I would always ask to see that report, and it's called a certificate of analysis. And most companies have them on their websites, or they have the little Q&R codes that you can scan and it'll take it right to the thing. Mine, I don't have that Q&R code yet, but they're all on my website. So I think that's important. That's truly important to ask. But for someone to get that little USDA organic sticker, it's not needed. As long as you're buying it in the state that it is Kentucky hemp and it's a quality source and you know where it's coming from, you don't need that sticker because that has a big selling point for some people.
But legally, I could purchase some CBD at a Kentucky store, but it has been manufactured or used with hemp from California?
Yep.
Not that I'm complaining about California. I just grabbed a state out of the area.
No, and there's a lot of different brands that come from Colorado, Oregon, Washington, California, the bigger states that kind of got into the hemp business quickly as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that they're not good brands or not good quality. I just prefer to support local Kentucky farmers. Makes more sense to me.
Yep, so, I agree. Anything that, anything I can do to support local businesses or Kentucky Proud is obviously a great organization that's here in Kentucky for Kentucky businesses. Uh-oh, I lost her.
All right. Sorry about that. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Find that. Okay. Sorry. Somebody was calling me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So percent of THC, these are the questions if I caught it, all my notes down. Percent of THC, how it's extracted.
Correct.
Where the plants are grown.
Correct.
Certificate of analysis that shows that third-party analysis.
Right. Third-party analysis. And then it also shows the CBD and the THC content. So how much CBD is actually in that product. The problem with this industry is that the FDA hasn't regulated it yet, right? So you're kind of left to where you're buying the product from as to whether or not they're telling the truth. So if they can't show you the certificate of analysis that says, hey, there actually is 750 milligrams of CBD in this particular batch number, I'd be leery of that, you know?
So that certificate is based on a batch number, not a manufacturing plant.
Correct.
Okay.
It's the batch number. It should be. It should be the batch number and match your bottle. So that label is printed on that bottle.
Oh,
now,
okay.
I usually have two, like I have one original third-party certificate that says this hemp was good and there's no pesticides in it. And then I have my other report that shows exactly how much CBD is in it and how much THC is in it per each bottle, per each batch. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I talk way longer than 10 minutes. So.
Oh no, that was the 10-minute ding ding. So we did great. Good. Yeah. So if you want to, Dee Dee and I were talking beforehand that obviously the endocannabinoid system is much more in depth than what we just scratched the surface on. So what we might do is put together a little workshop because I have been studying the genetic side of the endocannabinoid system. So it's been really fascinating to me in that regard. So we might put together a workshop to be done maybe next week or a couple of weeks that would be more in depth over in a group. So with that, we will say happy coffee break for today. And thank you very much, Dee Dee. And you have a fabulous day. Bye, everybody.
Have me. Bye, everybody.